Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Ah, Johnny, be good. He's a carrying guitar in a gunny sack, and she beneath the tree by the railroad track. Oh, sitting and a band in the shade, strumming to the rhythm that the drivers play. People passing by using something, say, oh, my, but that little country boy could play. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, 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 go, go. Ah, Johnny, be good.
So today, let's talk about AI, specifically how it's being used to enhance the Beatles recordings and videos that we've had for years.
Yeah, and so much of what we have is, not great quality. Grainy, black and white footage, and even the studio albums had so many limitations because of the recording tech at the time.
But what if you could change that,
Yeah.
enhance it, and end up with, better video and even better sounding music than what we've always listened to?
Exactly, and that really is the core question we're looking at. This intersection of 1960s limitations and 21st century artificial intelligence.
And it raises a huge question. When we use AI to fix these things, are we just revealing the artist's true performance?
Or are we inventing a version of the music that the Beatles themselves never actually heard? It's a fascinating area to explore, especially with projects like Get Back and the new song Now and Then.
Okay, let's get into it. And I think we have to start with the fan experience, because for decades, the source material, both video and audio, it was frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. We accepted it, but it was often really poor quality.
Think about the video. The Hollywood Bowl concerts, for example.
Right. This is 64, 65, peak Beatlemania. They're in the entertainment capital of the world.
And the video looks like a bad home movie.
It does, like it was shot from the nosebleeds. It's kind of shocking how little professionally shot footage exists from their prime touring years.
Why is that? Why did nobody properly film them?
Well, the archival infrastructure just wasn't there for pop music. It wasn't seen as something that needed to be preserved with that kind of care.
And that carried over to the audio, too. For decades, you just accepted the hiss, the sort of murky mix.
Oh, completely. You couldn't really hear Ringo's drums clearly or Paul's incredibly melodic bass line. It was all just part of this sound, this sonic murk of the 60s.
But this tension, this idea of controlling their legacy, it's not new. It goes way back before AI.
Way back, you can see it as early as 1995 with the Anthology Project. Paul McCartney was already worried about it then.
Worried about what, exactly?
He told a magazine he was concerned that releasing, say, takes 1 through 5 of a song would confuse people about what the official version was.
His point being, if they chose take 6, it's because they didn't want the other ones out there.
Exactly. It was about creative intent. But now AI is asking a new question. What if the technology of the time stopped them from ever achieving their true intent?
And that's where things get really interesting. The game changer, really, was Peter Jackson's Get Back documentary in 2021.
It was. And it was all built on this new AI technology they developed called ML, Machine Assisted Learning.
And ML solved a problem that audio engineers had considered impossible for, 50 years?
Pretty much. You have to remember, those original Let It Be sessions were often recorded in mono.
Meaning everything was dumped onto a single track.
Everything. John's vocals, George's guitar, Ringo's drums, Paul's bass, all captured on one microphone, going to one single track of tape.
So you couldn't just, turn up the vocal, because you'd be turning up the bass and drums too.
Precisely. They were physically fused together on the tape. The engineers called it a big sonic mess.
So how did ML fix that?
Well, this is the amazing part. The AI was trained to recognize the unique sonic signature of every instrument.
So not just a guitar, but George Harrison's specific guitar.
Exactly. Or Ringo's Ludwig drum kit.
Oh.
Once it learned those unique sound profiles, it could listen to that single mono track and, it could perform what's called demixing.
It pulled them apart.
It essentially reconstructed the audio, separating the instruments into individual tracks that never existed before.
That's incredible.
It was shocking. Suddenly, you could clearly hear Paul's intricate bass lines that had been buried for half a century. The technology didn't invent new notes, it just It revealed what was already there.
And it wasn't just the audio, was it? The visual restoration is just as dramatic.
Oh, completely. We're so used to seeing that grainy 16mm footage from places like the Hamburg clubs.
Right, blurry and shaky.
Well, modern AI upscaling can take that old footage and boost it to 4K. And it's not just zooming in. The AI intelligently fills in the missing information.
How does it know what to fill in?
It's analyzed millions of images, so it knows what skin texture looks like, or the wood grain on a guitar. Suddenly you're seeing the texture of Paul's jacket, you know?
It turns them from historical figures into people, right there in the room with you.
Right. And then you have the other tools like colorization.
Which is getting scarily accurate.
It is, because again, it's trained on historical data. It knows the specific shade of a Hofner bass from that era. But the biggest thing, I think, is the frame rate adjustment.
That's what gets rid of that jerky, old-timey look.
It bumps the frames per second up to modern standards, so the movement is smooth. It makes the footage look like it was shot last week. The AI essentially removes the veil of history.
Let's go back to the audio for a second, and to Giles Martin's work on the album remixes. Because that same problem, the limitations of the tech, defined albums like Revolver.
Yes, the infamous 4-track constraint.
It's hard to imagine now, but they made some of their most groundbreaking music
Stamp Pepper,
on a simple 4-track tape machine.
which forced them to make these permanent, painful choices. They would have to bounce down tracks.
So they'd record on, say, 3 tracks, then mix those 3 down onto the one remaining empty track.
Exactly, just to free up the first 3 tracks for more instruments.
But that decision was permanent. You'd have a guitar, a tambourine, and a backing vocal all glued together forever.
And if you wanted to raise the volume of the tambourine later.
You couldn't. Not without raising everything else with it.
Right. So the final mix was often a compromise, dictated by the hardware. And this is where the AI demixing changed everything for the Revolver remix in 2022.
Giles Martin could go into those bounce-down tracks and pull the instruments apart.
He could. He could finally give each element its own space in a modern mix. The percussion suddenly came alive.
And Paul's bass.
And Paul's bass. Finally, those incredible bass lines got the prominence they always deserved. For anyone listening, it's like hearing an album you've known your whole life for the very first time.
But the technology's ultimate test, and maybe its most controversial, was finishing now and then.
This was different. This wasn't just fixing a mix, this was completing a song from a demo.
And the original demo was not great quality.
No. John Lennon recorded it in the late 70s on a cheap cassette player. It was just his voice and a piano all tangled up together.
The other Beatles tried to work on it in the 90s for the anthology, but they had to give up.
They did. The technology just wasn't there. They couldn't separate John's vocal from the piano bleed. It was deemed impossible.
Until they get back AI.
Exactly. They fed the demo into the ML system. The AI analyzed the frequencies, identified John's voice, and just lifted it out.
Leaving a clean, crystal clear vocal track.
A perfect vocal track. From there, Paul and Ringo could add new parts, new bass, new drums, and they even wove in some existing guitar parts from George.
The result was incredibly moving. But it also raised some pretty big ethical questions.
Huge questions. You know, John only recorded a rough demo. Did he ever intend for it to be a finished Beatles song? Did the AI cross a line?
Which brings us to the big debate. We basically have 2 camps here. The preservationists and the enhancers.
Yeah, the purists' argument is that the murky mix on Revolver wasn't a mistake. It was a product of its time, and that's what defines the art.
So to fix it is to change history, to create a version that never existed.
Right. They'd say the constraint was part of the art, then you have the pro-enhancement side.
Their argument is that the AI is just an archaeological tool.
Exactly. It's like removing dust from an old film. The performances are real, the notes are real, the tech is just giving us clarity. They would argue that AI is finally letting us hear what the band wanted to do all along.
But then there's that slippery slope concern. What's stopping someone from creating a brand new beat?
AI can perfectly mimic John Lennon's voice. It could be trained to sing new lyrics he never wrote.
Which crosses a line from archaeology into something else entirely, a kind of digital fraud.
It's putting words in a dead man's mouth. So the people in charge of the catalog, Giles Martin and the estate, have drawn a very firm line.
And what is that line?
The rule is that AI is an archaeological tool, not a creative partner. If the Beatles played it or sang it, AI can help us hear it better. But the AI is not allowed to generate anything new. No new melodies, no new lyrics.
So the creativity has to remain human, the machine just cleans it up.
That's the rule for now.
So if that's the rule, what's next? What other hidden material could be excavated with this tech?
Oh, there's a lot. At the top of the list, you have the Hamburg tapes from the Star Club in '62.
Which are famously rough sounding.
Very rough. Almost unlistenable for most people. But the performances are electric. Could AI reconstruct that audio and make those legendary shows finally accessible?
And what about the big one? The mythical unreleased track from the Yesterday Pepper sessions.
Carnival of Light, the 14-minute experimental piece. It's always been considered too chaotic and avant-garde to release.
But could AI go in there, clean it up, maybe isolate the different elements and make it listenable?
It's possible. Or even just take the rooftop concert footage and make it look and sound like it happened yesterday. The potential is enormous.
It seems like the technical possibilities are almost limitless. But the biggest decision isn't technical, it's ethical. Just because we can do this doesn't mean we should.
That's the question.
The Beatles were always innovators. You have to think they'd be fascinated by all this.
Yeah.
But maybe a little worried too. For now, we're just getting to hear the true performances, finally free from the limits of 1960s magnetic tape.
And it's an amazing thing to witness.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Whenever you feel like knowing more about the Beatles, visit us at BeatlesRewind.com. Every day, we do something new there. Song reviews, album reviews, movie reviews, documentaries, trivia, all things Beatles. Every day, 8 days a week. Ooh, you can find us on the website, BeatlesRewind.com. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Podcasts, practically anywhere on the intertubes. The Beatles, all day, every day. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Right. Absolutely. Until then.
Until next time, when you listen.
Your mind conducts its own symphony.